Imagine being born into a brutal dictatorship, having your parents murdered, and being robbed of your identity, raised by those who committed the crime. A lifetime built on a lie, until the truth, painful yet liberating, finally comes to light. This is the story of Victoria, Montenegro, one of hundreds of stolen babies during the Argentine military dictatorship, a case that reveals the cruelest face of political repression and the tireless fight for justice and memory. Prepare to delve into a dark chapter of Latin American history, where the search for lost identity intertwines with the struggle against impunity, and truth becomes the greatest weapon against oblivion. This is the case of Victoria Montenegro, a symbol of resistance and hope amidst the darkness. Are you ready to unravel the layers of a crime that transcends generations? Between 1976 and 1983, Argentina lived under a military dictatorship that implemented a policy of state terrorism. Thousands of people were kidnapped, tortured, and murdered, becoming the disappeared, victims whose bodies were never found and whose fate remained unknown for decades. Among the atrocities committed, the systematic plan for the appropriation of babies born in captivity, kidnapped with their parents, stood out. These babies were handed over to families linked to the regime, who raised them as their own children, erasing their true identities and origins. The goal was not only to eliminate political opponents, but also to destroy their homes and their lineages, perpetuating fear and misinformation, and creating a society where truth was a rare and dangerous commodity. In this context of repression, organizations like the Grandmothers of Plaza de Mayo, Abuelas de Plaza de Mayo, becoming a symbol of resistance and the tireless search for their disappeared grandchildren, they challenged military power, using the strength of love and memory to uncover the truth and reunite families, becoming a powerful voice against impunity and a beacon of hope for those seeking their loved ones. Hilda Ramona Torres was born on the 29th of January 1976. Her parents, Roque Montenegro and Hilda Ramona Torres, were political activists who opposed a dictatorship. On the 13th of February 1976, when Hilda was just 15 days old, a group from the Army Intelligence Service raided their home in the province of Buenos Aires. Her parents were murdered, and the baby was taken to a police station. Hernan Antonio Tetzlaff, a military officer who led the operation, took the child, changed her name, and adopted her as his daughter. Thus, Hilda Ramona Torres became Victoria Montenegro, born on the 28th of May 1976, and the daughter of Hernan Antonio Tetzlaff and Maria del Carmen Eduards. She grew up in a military family, unaware of her true origin or the fate of her biological parents. Her childhood was marked by an apparent normalcy, but beneath the surface, a dark truth awaited to be revealed. Victoria Montenegro lived 24 years under a false identity. The truth about her origin began to emerge when, as an adult, she started to question her family history and felt that something was wrong. Her search for her roots led her to contact the Grandmothers of Plaza de Mayo, who conducted DNA tests to identify the disappeared grandchildren. In 2000, the DNA test confirmed that Victoria was, in fact, Hilda Ramona Torres, daughter of Roque Montenegro and Hilda Ramona Torres, both disappeared during the dictatorship. The news was an earthquake in her life, deconstructing everything she believed to be true. The discovery of her true identity was a profound shock for Victoria. She had to confront the reality that her biological parents were murdered by those who raised her, and that her entire life was a lie. This process of rediscovery was painful, but also liberating, as it allowed her to reconnect with her history and with her biological family's struggle for justice. The pain of betrayal and the joy of finding her true family mixed in a complex emotional journey, but essential for her healing and for the pursuit of justice. After recovering her identity, Victoria Montenegro became an active voice in the fight for justice for the disappeared of the Argentine dictatorship. She testified in courts, denouncing the crimes committed and demanding that those responsible be punished. Her courage and determination were fundamental for the advancement of legal proceedings against the military involved in the systematic plan of baby appropriation. Her story, told with passion and pain, resonated throughout Argentina and beyond, inspiring others to seek the truth. 10 years after the discovery of her identity, Victoria saw justice served. 7 high-ranking military commanders, including de facto former presidents Jorge Videla and Reynaldo Bignoni, and an obstetrician, were sentenced to prison terms of 7 to 15 years for their participation in the baby theft plan. This conviction was a historic milestone in Argentina, demonstrating that impunity would not prevail and that truth, however painful, would be revealed. The sentence was a relief for the families of the disappeared and an important step in consolidating democracy and human rights in the country. Victoria Montenegro's story is a testament to human resilience and the importance of historical memory. She represents the struggle of hundreds of men and women who, like her, had their identities stolen and who, with the help of the grandmothers of Plaza de Mayo, managed to recover their origins. The organization has already helped over 130 people recover their identities, and the search continues for hundreds of others who are still missing. A tireless work that honors the memory of the victims and seeks truth for new generations. The case of Victoria Montenegro and the struggle of the grandmothers of Plaza de Mayo, constant reminder that human rights violations cannot be forgotten. They serve as a warning to future generations about the dangers of tyranny and the importance of defending democracy and human rights. With each identity recovered, with each conviction, the memory of the disappeared is honored, and the hope for a more just future is strengthened. Victoria Montenegro's story is a cry of never again, a commitment to truth and justice so that such atrocities never repeat. Victoria Montenegro's story is a powerful reminder that truth always finds a way, even in the darkest circumstances. What did you think of this case of political disappearance? What is the importance of fighting for memory and justice in cases like this? How can we ensure that history does not repeat itself? Leave your comment below and share your thoughts. Your opinion is very important to us. If you were touched by this story and want more cases that make us reflect on human nature and the struggle for rights, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to not miss the next videos. In our next episode, we will delve into another mystery that will leave you breathless. Stay tuned.